it's been a few days because my plan was to let the 2 base coats that I put on the door dry overnight before I moved on to the next step. And then I ended up having my grandkids the next day, and well, the door was not going to happen. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to apply a coat of this exterior black grab and go flat paint that I just picked up from Walmart that they already had pre-mixed on the shelf. I see a lot of people using chalk paint. I just grabbed the flat and I'm just going to see how it goes. It is exterior. I'm going to be applying it with this 3-inch chip brush. I think this was like $2. And once I put that on, I'm going to do small sections, by the way. I'm going to go in with this wood grain tool. My Walmart didn't have this in stock, so I had to order it. I've seen people do this different. I've seen some people apply it like in a rocking motion and then go back in with just a clean swipe, and then I've seen people just do a even clean swipe on the first, hold on, pull track, sorry. I've seen them just do the straight swipe from the first swipe. Okay, really need to work on my words, but that's what we're going to do. I'm going to open this and show you. Okay, with this is probably to get in like the cracks. If you want to do just a straight wood grain without the knots and things, but this chip brush will achieve that. Normally people would not use a chip brush on a steel door to avoid the brush strokes, but the brush strokes are fine in this case. And this is a smaller actual wood grain look with the knots, and this is the larger attachment. This comes on and off, so I probably won't even mess with taking this off and putting this back on. I can do this with my hands. Okay, so enough chit chat. I'm going to get started on the black flat paint. Okay, so I decided to wash, or not wash, but rinse the paint off the wood grain tools because it was getting kind of sloppy there, as you can see, and I may actually redo that section. I'm letting those dry now, and I discovered pretty quick why I see people like curving, like doing their wrists like that as they're going down a stroke or streak, stripe, whatever. That is so that they will have more knots, like that, if you can tell, right there. So I'm gonna let my tools dry and probably do that section over. And what I did was I went in sections and directions how the wood would look if it was an actual wood door and the pieces were put together. Just in the middle there, one straight row up, and then the middle there, and then this will be one straight section. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. And then just over the windows. So I know you hear that big truck. And I used the straight wood grain tool even after using the chip brush because I wanted a little more grain look along the window trim. So I'm hoping that in these spots right here, it doesn't look exactly how I would want it to look necessarily. In the truck, that the gel stain that will go over top of this will kind of camouflage that some. We'll see. I mean, it's paint. I can always go back over just the spots that I don't like, or I can just redo the whole door. So it's always an option. So I'm gonna let my tools dry, and then you'll probably just see me finishing this up instead of talking to you. Okay, so hope this is picking up on camera. That's just the side of the door with just the straight wood grain tool that I showed you. The back of the door is great. I am going to be doing that too if this side turns out the way that I want it. Another truck. Hold on, guys. I'm going to let this dry for a while, especially since I'm going to be rubbing the gel stain over this. And I don't know if it matters, but it might need some extra time just to settle in, because I did go over a semi-gloss paint with a flat. Again, I don't know if that matters, but we'll find out. This is really a trial and error thing for me. This may turn out to be the greatest DIY thing I've ever done, and it may be a complete disaster. Time will tell. It already feels dry, because flat paint does dry fairly quick. A little smudge, but I just want to be on the safe side. Okay, I probably already said this, probably already showed you this, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to use the gel stain, the color Aged Oak by Minwax. I just picked this up at Lowe's. This is the first time I've ever used a gel stain. I know it's going to be thicker than the stains that I've used it before, but this is, I'll try to show you guys. I'll lift up the camera and show you, but it looks like a jar of like jelly. When you don't know what jelly looks like, but I'm going to try to show you anyway. Yeah, oh, let's go over to the light. Let's see, can you guys see that? Yeah, looks like jelly. Okay, so plan is I'm gloved up, because I mean, not only will it stain your door or whatever you're putting it on, it will stain your hands too. And if it's like the other stains that I've used, which I mean it's the same concept, so I would assume this is going to be would be, watch my language, hard to get off your hands, just like the other stain. So gloved up, I have an old cotton pillowcase that I cut up. I'm going to use one of the strips to apply it, and I'll have the other one or another strip on hand to wipe some of the stain off if need be. Okay, so I'm going to get this step started.